December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast. What a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
On the set.
Lawrence looking to pass on the first play. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit their receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
3rd and 2, now Lawrence. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. It's a first down following a gain of 3. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Prescott. And the catch made by Hilton. Oh, what a move. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now Prescott. And he's got it. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. Elliott. is not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Here's Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott taking it in from a yard out.
And the Cowboys use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Jaguars take over a 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Dalton Schultz, his 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back, though, and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah. Well.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Jaguars take over a 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago, their 2nd straight victory.
But they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along, and from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively, and this team now has an identity, and they're playing to it and playing well.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Lawrence completes it to Evan Ingram. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
That's good for a Jaguars. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Now Lawrence on 1st down.
Man open, here is Jones. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's tackled at the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
And they'll go again with Etienne.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
He hated taking the loss there on 3rd down.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
At the 31-yard line.
He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. He's got it to Hilton. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 40-yard line.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Got an open man, it's Michael Gallup. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 39. A gain there of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And he will have a Cowboys first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on third down.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? Ike will hear about that from him soon.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On third down, it's Prescott. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. His throw caught right around the 6. Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 14th rushing touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3.
Lawrence hit and the ball is free. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
On second and a long way to go. Lawrence, a slant to Jones. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up a third down and very long. Here's Lawrence. And that
is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 37-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Prescott now. And he is caught by Lamb. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give him 32 on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Prescott on first down. And he'll go right back to Lamb. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Quick slant caught by Kirk. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
51, back, right.
Lawrence going to throw again. Well, that's the third interception for Lawrence. And the Cowboys will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And how about that for just running out the clock? Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all.
Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Jags grab it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
To the air again, Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 21. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves. They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
To throw again on second down. Prescott. He finds his man complete. That's Schultz. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the game, 17th of the year. And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence caught by Jones. Room here to run. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Again, it's Lawrence. And he slings one that's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Lawrence. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 12-yard line. Now Lawrence. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 6-4 at the Cowboys' 6-yard line.
Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. Touchdown Jaguars! Evan Ingram from 6 yards away. And the Jags are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is down to 28-10. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Dak swinging this out quickly to Lamb. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. To throw is Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, Cowboys.
Prescott now from the 50. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that could spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And the pressure gets to him again. Josh Allen, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Devon Hamilton. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll get this out to the and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble Touchdown by the Cowboys. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken in at the 3. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
On the double.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Jaguars on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Now Lawrence to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. And look at this starting field position. That'll be touchdown inside the 30-yard line. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. To about the 26 here.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. Prescott yet again. And it's caught. Touchdown. CeeDee Lamb from 6 yards away. And the Cowboys are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, set.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Only needing 2 yards on second down. Here's Lawrence. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. And to throw again is Lawrence. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Now Lawrence on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 41. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Prescott. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Here we go.
On second down, a run with Etienne. And they'll bring him down right around the 13.
A 5-yard gain on the play. And the Jaguars first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Completes it to Evan Ingram. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Ready, break. Hey, exit. Hey, orbit. Ready, ready.
On 1st down, Lawrence. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Lawrence going to throw again. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Lawrence will throw. And able to find Kirk complete. On the move past the 40. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Draw play, Etienne. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that will cut this lead down to 25.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the 4th.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early. But give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there.
There he goes, left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit, but for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Marr on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Jaguars 17.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw.